In the quiet embrace of twilight, the air hung thick with the sense of damp earth and freshly cut grass. The sun, a fiery orb sinking beneath the horizon, cast long shadows across the neighborhood as I stepped out onto my porch. The wooden boards creaked softly underfoot, a familiar sound that had begun to settle into my routine since moving to this quaint little town. I could hear the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze, a whispering chorus that seemed to beckon me outside. "Yo, T-Dog," my neighbor called over the fence, his voice cutting through the evening calm like a sudden clap of thunder. I turned to see him leaning against the weathered wood, his sun-kissed skin glistening slightly, a testament to the day's warmth. "Hi, Tyler," I called back, raising a hand in a casual wave, though the nickname made me bristle just a little. "It's Tyrone, actually." A chuckle escaped him, accompanied by the unmistakable sound of tobacco being spat onto the grass, the dark brown liquid staining the vibrant green in a grotesque display. "I saw you washing your car yesterday," he said, a crooked grin spreading across his face. "Sick tattoos, bro." Surprised, I felt warmth creep into my cheeks. "Oh, thanks." The compliment caught me off guard, but I felt a flicker of pride at the artistry etched into my skin, symbols that told a story of my past life. "Viking shit, right?" he asked, his eyes sparkling with a glimmer of mischief, as if he had stumbled upon a hidden treasure. "Something like that," I replied cautiously, my eyes narrowing slightly as I tried to gauge his intentions. Tyler nodded, a satisfied smile stretching across his lips as though I had just confirmed a secret pact between us. "My boys are coming over tonight if you want to hang out," he offered, his tone casual but with an undercurrent of expectation. "I think you're our kind of guy." I hesitated, the thought of mingling with unfamiliar faces weighing heavily on my mind. But I had only lived in this town for a few months, and the ache of loneliness was beginning to gnaw at me. In my previous life, I had been a soldier, a keeper of the law, but now that world felt distant, a fading echo. I nodded slowly, promising to stop by, curiosity mingling with caution. As the clock struck 8 p.m., I found myself standing at Tyler's door, a bottle of mead clutched tightly in my hand. The warmth of the evening air wrapped around me like a comforting blanket, but a chill ran down my spine as I knocked. "T-Dog!" Tyler cried, swinging the door open with an exuberance that was both welcoming and alarming. He pulled me into a chaotic whirlwind of laughter and camaraderie, leading me into the heart of his living room, where the air was thick with the smell of cheap beer and the faintest hint of something savory simmering in the background. "Welcome, brother," a gruff voice greeted me, and I turned to see a broad-shouldered man with a scruffy beard extending a hand. "I'm Derek. So you've got Viking ink, huh?" Another man piped up, his enthusiasm palpable as he rolled up his sleeve to reveal crude tattoos of arrows etched into his skin. The others followed suit, revealing their own ink-adorned arms, each marking a twisted bond of brotherhood. "Can we see yours?" Foxy asked, his voice barely masking the eagerness in his tone. As I opened my shirt, the cool air brushed against my skin, revealing the intricate runes of old gods woven into my flesh. They told tales of valor, of oaths unbroken, of the ancient songs carried by the wind and sea. I had never been one to flaunt them, but their interest in history sparked a moment of connection, a fleeting sense of belonging. But just as quickly, that sense of warmth dissipated as Tyler rose, his voice booming with a sense of twisted pride. "Welcome, Tyrone, to the Aryan Crusaders." The words hung in the air like a foul stench, and I felt my heart drop into the pit of my stomach. "What?" Laughter erupted around me, but it felt sinister, like a pack of wolves closing in on their prey. "Oh, come on," Eagle said, his grin wide and predatory. "We know you're a proud Aryan." The room spun, and I felt the walls begin to close in as Tyler lifted his shirt, revealing more of the grotesque runes, a swastika etched into his stomach. My pulse quickened, anger surging through my veins like fire. "That's not what they mean," I cried, my voice rising with indignation. "It's history. The history of the superior white race," Sticky Mike wheezed, his eyes gleaming with a manic fervor. "Our history." As they raised their right hands in a grotesque salute, I felt a wave of nausea crash over me. "Thanks, but no thanks," I said, my voice steady but firm as I turned to leave. Before I could reach the door, Tyler pulled a gun from his waistband, the cold metal glinting ominously in the dim light. "Pity," he said, a cruel smile curling his lips. "I thought you were one of us." In that instant, the room erupted into chaos. Time slowed as I moved, my body a blur of instinct and training. I tore through his friends like paper, the sickening sound of flesh meeting steel ringing in my ears. Blood spattered the ceiling, painting the walls with a visceral reminder of their errors. When it was done, silence fell heavily upon the room, broken only by the soft clatter of Tyler's gun as it slipped from his grasp onto the floor. How he stammered, his eyes wide with disbelief and fear. "You people disgust me," I hissed, my voice low and cold as I lifted him by the throat, his feet dangling helplessly above the ground. "Who are you?" he choked, panic flooding his features. "You should know," I said, my eyes shimmering with an otherworldly light, the cold glow of Bifrost illuminating the darkness of the room. "You carved my name into your arm." As realization dawned upon him, Tyler's lips parted to whisper a single word before the screams began, reverberating through the air like the final notes of a mournful song.